Welcome to the Mole Confidential.
Alright guys, this is going to be a special little video. You can see we have Giz, Wild Wolf, Alicia, Piper Bunny, and Extra. And we're going to kind of just give you a little bit of behind the scenes info on the mole. We're going to show a few little things. We're not going to give away any spoilers, so this is not going to help you determine who is the mole. But we had a few viewers who didn't quite understand the dynamics of the game. And we're going to kind of go over that. And we're going to just kind of show you some behind the scenes stuff. So let's go ahead and go on in. This is the house, and this is the walk that you saw the players take here. Basically walking in the intro for episode 1.
This house is amazing.
But
Lots of Easter eggs too. Yes, Wolf made the house. We called it the lodge.
So let's go ahead and go on in. I set this up earlier today, and I forgot that I had fire protection off, so the whole mansion burnt down.
Because there isn't a fireplace.
Now, this is the main entryway here, but we're going to go over here. This is the pool room, and this is an area that the players come to relax in between challenges as I'm getting things ready for maybe the quiz or for whatever. You can see there's a little sign here.
Yeah.
So
We did a lot of jumping over these steps while we were waiting.
yes, at certain points I would be getting things ready, and it may take a little bit, so they actually had a lot of time. And this is a point when they were chatting amongst themselves, and they might have been trying to, determine if they think another player is the mole, just observing things and everything. So let's go ahead and head on to the upstairs area. That was the pots there where I keep the diamonds as the games go on. Obviously, that hasn't started yet, and here is the elimination area. But we're going to go ahead and go on upstairs. And you can see here, this is their room. Since Wolf made the mansion here, I gave him the first room.
He had a giant room.
Some of the rooms are upstairs.
It's pretty small, but the
Bunny's
balcony's
room.
huge.
So we had just enough room, basically. I think Wolf actually had to squeeze one extra room in for me to get everybody in.
Look at my balcony.
So here you can, basically these are all the rooms. And you can see the rooms were numbered, and obviously there were rooms on different floors. So some of that came into play when we did the quizzes.
I think Gizmo had the smallest room, didn't he?
The doctor always lives modestly.
Big on the inside.
It's no,
My joke.
Alright, so now we'll head down to the elimination area. Now this is where the players, this is the chest here that they would grab their torches in and place them down. I'm going to real quickly turn on Cuboid just so that people can see how I did the screen. So what I did before we start elimination is I would come over here and punch with the Cuboid the 2 white blocks, and I would stand over here and I would basically type let's see, Seafill 35, and I think 5 was green, so there you can see I made it green when I would tell somebody they were safe. And if they were eliminated,
It was very suspenseful as well. We were just like, there's a massive pause and you're just waiting to see if it's going to go green or red while you're on the block of sand.
and then
I think we should put Alicia on there and eliminate her and she can see what happens.
if you want to, Alicia, go ahead and step up onto the sand block.
I'll stand back here.
Alicia, let's see, I don't remember what, let me go back. The white screen is white right now. Let me plug your name
To
into
look at the TV, Alicia.
the computer, and you are the mole's first victim.
No! Bye, Alicia!
I fell down a hole.
So one of the things you've probably noticed is I have to do a lot of typing to make the wool change colors, and that's why you see a lot of cuts to the players standing on it, because the one thing for the mole that we tried to do is I did pretty much everything by myself because everybody wanted to play it. So, I really didn't have helpers until people potentially were getting eliminated. So, that's why you see some of the editing. But just to talk a little bit now, just so people understand, I know some people were confused. After the first episode, a few people thought Leo was the mole. But the way the game works is, before we ever started this, I picked one person to be the mole, did not tell any of the other players except that person, and I said, you are the mole. Now that person, their goal was to, in a sense, try to sabotage the games that we play, but do it as covertly as possible as to not arouse suspicion of them. If they did arouse suspicion of them, then obviously the other players would know the answers. So when they're taking the quiz questions, let's say I'm a player and I think it's Alicia. I think she's the mole. When one of the questions came up that said, is the mole male or female? If there's only 2 females playing, I have to be really sure that Alicia is the mole. Because if I say female for that vote and I'm wrong, yeah, that's a question I'm going to get wrong. So in some cases, it might be better to vote with the one that has better chances. If there was 7 men and 2 women, and the question is the mole male or female, I may go ahead and pick male, because there's a much greater chance of that being correct, unless I'm really sure it's Alicia. Now, if you guys got any comments you want to make on the whole process to maybe clarify things for the viewers.
I think that summed it up. We tried to answer
quite well.
We tried to answer as well as we could throughout the whole thing. We tried to make sure that we get it right, because we don't want to be eliminated.
There's a good example, actually. One player thought it was a certain person and put all their answers on that person, and it wasn't that person, and that person was the player was eliminated. So you did have to have quite a good idea of who the mole is, otherwise you would be eliminated.
Early on, I think it would have been doubly difficult because of how little evidence you get in the beginning, I guess. So you really want to kind of make every answer that you give sort of as generic and as wide-reaching as possible, I guess, in the beginning.
Yeah.
So, just to clarify, again, if you're confused about the game, obviously, this is based off of a TV series that's aired in many countries. The name is potentially different depending on your country, but you can usually find episodes of it online, or I'm sure you could find DVDs and things. But, the whole goal of the game is, as a player that's not the mole, it is to determine who is the mole and then answer the questions correctly so you stay in the game. And hope, in some cases, it's also smart if you're not the mole and you have a good idea who is the mole, or maybe early on, act like the mole. Because if somebody thinks you're the mole, because you faked them out into thinking you're the mole, they may vote for you in the quizzes saying that they think you're the mole and answer the other questions assuming you're the mole, and they're going to be wrong because you threw them off. So there is some strategy that can be employed there. Did players do that strategy? We'll find out. So what we're going to do now is we're going to warp to challenge 1, just so you can see it. And for you guys who haven't done this in a while, it's warp CHALL1. So this is the area where we did challenge 1, and this was the seekers and the builders, basically. In the chest over here, we had the diamond picks for the builders. And then you can see these pylons in the distance. That basically denoted the grid that they were supposed to stay inside looking for chests. Now, I'm going to run over real quick and just, show you that as a seeker, they would run out here and they would look at a chest, and this one's empty, so it would be of no use. Now, there's more chests all around, but I'm not going to show you the contents of them, because just in case you're watching the original video, I don't want you to get an idea. If I show you a chest that had good stuff in it and you're like, well, hold it, a person skipped that chest or opened that chest, they should have had that item. So I'm not going to show you that.
And also, I think from the video, you miss out that, I missed it out, so you might want to edit this bit if I didn't miss out, that the seekers had to put all the material into the chest for the builders to actually take it out the chest and then start building with it.
Yeah, they went over that in the video, but it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It could have been, you know, missed, I guess, because we only said it once. But I guess it kind of, there was a little bit of it that confused me in the beginning of the thing, because he had said, you know, you got to find the materials to make up the image. So I actually kind of thought, well, we just go out and we find the materials to make up the box that we ended up having to build. I actually thought we were going to have to, like, mine.
Yeah. And, you know, so if somebody was acting molish or the mole being molish, you could take the items from the chest, not tell anybody. But there was always that risk that if you got hurt or if something happened, you might reveal items in your inventory. So,
By dying.
yeah, the mole has to be very careful of what they do on any of these games. So let's go ahead and warp to Chao 2, and we'll show a few little things that the viewers didn't get to see. So this was the brain teaser. Over here on the wall next to Wolf here, you see there's a sign. Everybody's warping in here at this point, where it says, "You all have small brains. Love the mole." So,
Yeah, the mole was very sarcastic in some of the signs.
and you'll see more of that type of stuff as the games go on, where the mole would leave little love notes, in a sense, to the players. But let's go ahead and bust this wool and go on in. And this is the actual brain teaser that the players saw, you know, on the wall. They read it. It basically gave them all the info they needed, and then it told them how to unlock the door if they were able to solve the riddle. And then they came out here, and this door was protected. It's not right now, and if they didn't enter the right password, they wouldn't be able to come out here onto the mat.
So I guess one of the questions that was asked that I answered in the mole video, but that might not have been made perfectly clear, was about the math in this quiz, and it was really simple yet devious sort of math. And the way that I explained it was by cutting the numbers down a little bit, saying that each brother got 10 originally, but the other brother wanted to buy 5 of them, so he ended up with 15, and the other brother ended up with 5, meaning that there was a difference of 10, but he only had to pay for the 5 that he bought, which it kind of explains this one fairly well.
And that was the whole point for that brain teaser. I mean, it wasn't difficult, but if you make the wrong assumption early on, you know, you're gonna struggle until you can get it right.
Yeah.
You know, and the players actually did complete that one, and they did fail on the first challenge. All right, so a little teaser for you. Down below, you can see the players kind of flying around and hopping around. That is going to be challenge 4. So that will be the second challenge that'll be done by the players in the next episode. So you're getting a little teaser. I'm not going to tell you what it is. You know, you may look at it and maybe you'll have some ideas what you think it is. But that's just a little teaser to let you see what's going to be happening in the next episode that will air this Friday, the 4th. And we hope you guys are enjoying it. I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to say at all.
No, just who is the mole?
Bubbles.
Mole, 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 mole.
So we'll see you guys Friday, and hopefully the mole doesn't sneak up and get you.